If your job search feels like a full-time job, but with no full-time paycheck and with very little progress, well, I want you to hear this very clearly. You, my friend, are not the problem, but your strategy is. Because what I see every single day, smart, experienced, capable professionals working hard, applying, networking a little bit, tweaking resumes, and still not getting any traction, it's not because they aren't good enough, but it's because they're playing a game that has completely changed. And no one even showed them the new rules. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening and why your job search may not be moving forward. And most importantly, what to do differently so you can start seeing some real momentum. We need to get you to those interviews. This is not about doing more. This is about doing the right things in the right order with intention. If we haven't met before, I'm Lori Lawrence. I'm founder of Next Chapter Career Coaching, and I'm a job search specialist. And I help those professionals over the age of 45 who are feeling like they are way too young to retire and they're too old to start over. I help them land their next job very fast. So let's start here, because this is the truth most people don't want to hear. Most job seekers today, well, we're building on effort, not strategy. And honestly, I don't care how much effort you're putting in. Unfortunately, the average job search in isolation with effort is 8+ months. And doing this alone, well, it's going to wear you out. I talk to out-of-work professionals every week who tell me, well, Lori, I've applied to 100 jobs. Nothing. I'm on LinkedIn every day. Doing what? And I'm doing everything I can. Are you? And I believe them for the most part. But here's what I also see. Their search is really unfocused. It's more reactive. It's built around volume instead of direction, doom scrolling through job boards. So what's happening? You're waking up every day and you're asking yourself, where should I apply, instead of what am I strategically moving toward? Those are two completely different approaches. One creates momentum, the other creates results. So let me say this in a way I say it to my clients. Effort without direction creates exhaustion, mentally and physically. It doesn't create offers. And if you've been feeling tired, discouraged, or questioning yourself, it's not because you're not capable, it's because you've been operating without a clear system. Let's talk about the biggest trap I see, relying on job boards as your primary strategy. And I'm not saying don't apply. I'm just saying this shouldn't be your entire job search strategy and how your job search is built just around applying online. You're putting yourself in the hardest possible position to win if this is what you're doing. Because when you apply through a job board, you're one of hundreds, maybe thousands of applicants. And in today's competitive market, where there is on average 250 applications for every single job posting on LinkedIn, hiring does not happen because someone applied. It happens because someone was visible, someone was referred, or someone already knew the hiring manager. That's how decisions are getting made. Don't throw your hands up. If that's all you're doing, you're entering the process at the very end when the competition is at the highest and your differentiation is at the lowest. The next issue, and the one that is big, is lack of clarity. I'll ask anyone, what role are you targeting? And I hear most of the time, well, something in operations, or I did this at this job, or strategy, or leadership, or maybe customer success. I can do so many different things. That's why I have 5 different resumes for different roles that I see online. Wow. That is not a target. That is a range of confusion. And it's not going to create much traction for you. So you need these 3 things. Lock it in. A defined role, a defined direction, and a defined set of companies. Without that, your job search becomes so random and chaotic. And randomness rarely creates results. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Because when you're clear, everything gets so much easier. Your resume becomes sharper. Your LinkedIn becomes strong and very powerful. Your conversations become more focused, and people can actually help you. So let's shift into what does work, because I never want to leave you with just the problem. Here's what I want you to start doing differently. First, stop casting a wide net. Start building a targeted strategy. Pick a role, a title, define it clearly, own it. You can always pivot later, but right now you need traction. Make sure your LinkedIn headline reflects that job title, that role, along with who you serve, a bit of outcomes, and some niche skills and certification. Second, I want you thinking in terms of, where do I want to work? Not what's available today. Start with 20 to 30 companies, industries you know, companies you respect, organizations where your experience actually fits. That's where your energy is going to go. Third, networking and outreach. And let's be very clear about networking. This is not, hey, let me know if you hear of anything. That doesn't work. But what does work is specific outreach. Hey, here's what I'm targeting. Here's where I'm focused. And here's how my background aligns. I value your perspective. That's a completely different conversation. And those list of companies you have created, make sure you follow them on LinkedIn, connect with people whom you could be working with, click the connection button, and say something very simple and easy. I'm looking to grow my professional network, and I would love to connect. I hope you agree. Nothing more, just connect. Number 4, you need to be seen before you apply, not after. That means engaging on LinkedIn, connecting with the right people, showing up with your expertise, being part of conversations, because visibility creates familiarity, and familiarity reduces hiring risk. 5, yes, you are still going to apply, but now you're doing it a little differently. You're applying after you've identified the company, you've connected with someone inside, you understand the role, you've positioned yourself clearly. Now your application has context. Now your name isn't just random in a pile of others. Now I want to talk about something just as important, and that is your mindset. This job search process can really mess up with your confidence. I've seen it time and time again, especially if you've been at it for quite a while. You're going to start thinking, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe my experience just really doesn't matter anymore. Maybe I'm being overlooked because of my age. Well, let me stop you right there. You're not invisible. It's not you. You are just not positioned yet. There's a big difference. And once you shift your positioning, everything changes, especially your confidence. So let's bring this all together. If your job search isn't working right now, it's usually because it has been built on volume and not strategy. It lacks clear direction. It relies too heavily on applications, and it's missing visibility and connection. And none of that has anything at all to do with your capability or experience. It has everything to do with your approach. And the good news is you can control it. You can fix your approach. You can get clear and strategic, you can get visible, and you can absolutely get the results that you're looking for, which is a new position. Here's the takeaway for this week. Effort alone will not get you hired, but focused strategic action will. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, I kind of get this, but I don't really know how to actually go about building this whole strategic plan, well, that's exactly what I help people do every single day. I work with experienced professionals who are tired of guessing, tired of spinning, and ready to take control of their job search. So if you want more structure, more clarity,
some real momentum, if you just need to talk to somebody for a little bit, I've got a few ways we can go deeper. You can join my community and get support 2 times a week, every week. You can also work with me privately as a VIP in my coaching program, which has a pay me after you get a job. You can start with my interview readiness lab and build confidence right away. Or just grab 30 minutes on my calendar so that we can discuss where you're at. No cost, just bring you and your heart and your questions. All of those links are below. And if this message will hit you today, stop questioning yourself, stop questioning your value, and start improving your strategy, because you don't need to become someone new to get hired. You just need to show up differently. I'll see you in the next video.